the microphone be friendly to bishops. Katie has put so much so well. I'm just thinking that it just makes us realise that there is so many common sense, positive things to say. Because and maybe it's good for us to realise that so much of what you said, so many different angles, and all so obvious, and all such a strong argument. And I just want to mention a few of those things. I think it's always important to say that it's not an Irish issue. In every country in the world, there will always be people, there is always people who say it's not right. It shouldn't be this way. It could be otherwise. Because often part of the argument is the backward Irish, or the Irish that phrase that grew up a few years ago that haven't yet learned to smell the coffee. But in every country, there always will be. Pope Francis puts it that simply, saying, it's not right. It's human life. And what's the word? Maybe it's the word destruction. The destruction of human life maybe is a great word, because the methods of abortion mostly are awfully destruction. Something else has occurred to me there. That towards the end, when Katie was urging us all, that maybe that simple phrase that speak out for those with no voice yet. Speak out for those who have no voice yet. And that the child in the womb is many things, but it has no voice. We can be that voice. And just a few more of those simple things. I always bring a copy of the Constitution when this comes up, because I think it's always good to treasure that phrase in 43.3. The state acknowledges the right to life of the unborn. That's the phrase. And it's acknowledges. The state doesn't grant that right. It acknowledges it as a human right. It acknowledges it as a fundamental right. We would say a God-given right. But that's the phrase. The state acknowledges the right to life of the unborn. I do think it's good that we speak of the Eighth Amendment, but I do think at least 50% of the time we should say Article 43.3 of our Constitution. Our Constitution is 80 years old this year. And it's no longer an amendment. For 35 years, for 35 years of the 80 years, part of our Constitution has been the state acknowledges the right to life of the unborn. What's so awful about having that in? This drives to put all sorts of things into the Constitution, including water rights. But what's so awful? And, is it not something positive? Is it not something good that for 35 years our Constitution has said the state acknowledges the right to life of the unborn? I think in that sense we should always proclaim that it's part of the Constitution. There is more to it, but that's the actual statement. The state acknowledges the right to life of the unborn. That's the fundamental part of it. Obviously, that's not the full phrase. I think it's worth.
It's on the card.
This phrase exactly. It's on the card.
Yeah, it's on the card. The card. The card.
Yeah.
There we go. It's there. It's all on the.
And with due regard to the equal right to life of the mother. So I just think that's and I think it's an honourable thing. It's a thing we can be proud of. Another simple point that, the tragedy of abortion at all levels. If year after year in Britain there's something like 200,000 abortions, just think of the trauma and the distress and the upset for all the people involved, the women and their partners, and maybe others around them too. But ought we not just face up to that and say, surely there's a better way? Surely we can be a different type of society. Surely we can promote a different type of society where less occurs, where there's less unwanted pregnancies. Just think of, as I said, the trauma for the people involved, the adults involved. Does it have to be that year after year after year? And is our only answer to say, so be it, let it continue? So there are so many arguments that can be put, so many aspects. The other one, and I think it's worth mentioning, is the most important person is the mother. The most important person is the expectant woman. And that's 100% true. But if you use the word most important, you're saying there are other important people too. And why aren't they mentioned? And again, the first person I would mention is the partner of the pregnant woman. We're not that barbaric a society that when every person who finds have an unwanted pregnancy is straight away abandoned. It would be barbaric if that was true. It would be barbaric if the response of every partner involved was to desert the woman in that situation. And that person too is important. The man as partner, the man as parent. You know, those two status, being partner, being parent, makes that person very important. You know, and thirdly, the one that people campaigning for abolishing the eighth never mention, the other person that's very important, surely is the human life in the womb. The human life that's never mentioned. So when people say the most important person is the woman, yes, in so many ways, and our heart goes out to the woman, not the only person. Very important too is our partner, and thus the father of the child. And it can never be right if people want to never mention, you know, as if when people say it's a health issue, if the human life in the womb is never mentioned. So just, and say so much of what Katie has said, and so much could be said, and just to realise there are so many simple, convincing arguments. Human life is sacred. Human life has full human rights from conception to natural death. There's a great challenge ahead of us. It's great to see the energy with which Katie launched this night. It's great to see so many gathered. It's great to hear Mary speak of a great solid core committee having been formed. I think the last word I'd use would be to localise. We need to localise the situation that in the local areas throughout the county, in the local areas throughout the diocese with the Cork parishes involved, there needs to be equally strong groups there. The campaign to get rid of the Article 43.3 will be massive, will be absolutely professional, will be clinical to the extreme. It needs a wonderfully strong local campaign everywhere throughout the country if people are to say that it is a good thing that we have in our constitution that phrase, the state acknowledges the right to life of the unborn. And just, we look at the constitution under Article 40, it's the article that speaks of citizens, that the life in the womb, that's a citizen too. So it's good to be here this night. It's good to see all the energy. But let's realise there's a huge task ahead, and localising in every district throughout the county. If we have a local team, a strong local team, a convinced local team. And just the last thing to mention that it's lovely to see the good quality on the down-to-earthness and the suitability of literature. So mind there, that love both is the slogan there. Love both, because the 8 fits into the middle of it. But it's wonderful, wonderful literature, wonderful promotional material developed that speaks to everyone. So it's good to be here this night, and I congratulate all involved, and I urge us all to give our best. And we will always proclaim that fundamental human right to life is there.